A little clip from the movie Step Off the Block, and that's a new movie by Will Adams. Good morning to you, Will.
Good morning, good morning.
And good morning to you, Stephanie McNair.
Good morning.
All right, it's good to have you both here. You're both looking great. You look like you just go ready for the gym. I know you dress for outdoors, but you look like an athlete.
Well, I appreciate that.
And were you an athlete when you went to Hirsch High School?
No. Just into video and film.
That's good. And tell us a little bit how you got started making video, doing films.
Well, doing films, I used to work on various projects a while ago, and I saw directors kind of not doing what I thought should be. Because I used to be just a cameraman. I was just a cameraman. I didn't really think about writing until I just saw. I always had my own ideas, and when I saw them writing, and I saw their work, and I'm like, I can do something better than, because I'm not going to name any names, but I felt like I could do a better job than they were doing, and I ended up mostly shooting and directing my own pieces.
Well, I was working off a story I think I saw on Streetwise where they said that you were at Hirsch High School and there was a teacher who showed a music video, and that sort of turned you on to making video, film, that kind of thing.
John Beaudoin, yeah, I was in English class and she pushed this TV monitor in, and I had no clue what was going on because I wasn't paying attention. And they turned this video on. I was like, wow, that looked like something that came on MTV. So I'm like, wow. She said, these 4 students right here, they did the video. And I was like, what? They did it? That means I have a chance to do it. So, I was excited about that. And from that point on, that was years ago, many moons.
What was your first film?
It was Kidnap.
Kidnap.
And I call it my baby. It's not my best film because I really let I use this as my blueprint because I let the actors actually do what they wanted to do opposed to me directing them. So when I saw it, I'm like, I should have directed him. I should have told him what to do. I should have told her what to do. So it was basically my blueprint for my film moving forward, because then you move to My Enemy's Son, where I actually did some directing instead of letting the actors do what they want to do.
Which one was that?
My Enemy's Son.
My Enemy's Son.
Yeah, it was I created that movie off of a song, Scarface song, which is Scarface the rapper. He made a song called Good Girl Gone Bad, and I always visually saw that as a movie, and I turned it into a movie.
Well, you were on Live from the Heartland once before.
2014.
And I'm glad you got that down. I think you did a film then, and we were talking about called Sex Ain't Love.
Sex Ain't Love.
What was that about? Sex Ain't Love.
Sex Ain't Love. It was a romantic comedy that revolved around a guy named Zeke who was trying to figure out what sex was and what love was. I had certain situations in the film where I was trying to make things match up, and then I had the whole something about Mary vibe going on, and that's when I introduced Stephanie and put her in the I put her in the mix and had her narrate the movie.
So Stephanie started as a narrator, not a singer.
No, she was both.
She was both in your
She gave me tracks because when I met her, I said I was asking around, and somebody introduced me to Stephanie, Ronnie Boykin Jr. He introduced me to Stephanie, and he said, look, she got some music. She sent me, I said, I want that track. I want that track. Give me that track. And then she said, I got one more track I want you to listen to. And I listened to, I said, I want that one too. And then we got to reshoot some stuff because, we need this scene to end the movie. So, that's how me and Stephanie hooked up.
Well, Stephanie has a song that we're going to play going out at the end called Not Afraid.
Right.
And it's from your new movie, Step Off the Block.
Correct. That's a track that I thought was fitting to end the whole sequence of the movie, because it's not afraid to move. To me, it meant not afraid to move forward and go on with your passion, opposed to what was really going on in the movie, which is, it was a movie about gun violence and trying to figure out something to do aside from picking up a pistol and stepping off the block, so to speak.
You did a film called A Third First, which I think was in August of 2016, and it's a comedy. It's a short.
Yeah, it's a romantic comedy. It's about a 10-minute short. I chose to shoot that one. It was done in one location. And I saw a 3 Best Short Film Festival, and I said, I could do that, and that's what I did, and it got into 4 film festivals.
Nice.
2 here and 2 in Florida.
Another short that you did, which I did watch,
yeah, you told me you cried,
was called, he thinks I cried. I said, I give a little flutter on the heart, and he accused me of crying, and then I went off on a diatribe or saying how I feel great when I cry. And it doesn't happen very often. I mean, sometimes I'll be driving by a truck with a country tune and watching the wheel, and some flash of my father will come up, and I'll get kind of emotional. But with that said, If I Die Tomorrow was a moving short film. It's about it starts out with some gangster kind of dude. First, a bunch of young guys are running, like they're running away from. I missed the very first part, like cops or another drug dealer.
Right.
Some heavy dude comes on them and puts a gun to one of their head and wants to know where his money is.
Right.
The next thing you know, he passes out. He goes to the hospital. They tell him he's going to die in the next 24 hours.
Right.
So, you want to share anything else on that? What happens, or do we keep it a secret? Because it'll move you.
What he said it'll move you. I think you should watch it. It's If I Die Tomorrow. It's on YouTube. I made it for YouTube. You can actually see it, and it gives you the aspect of how would you feel if you had 24 hours to live? What would you do? And this particular guy kind of wanted to change his life, and he finds out different things about his life, which kind of changes his whole outlook on the world. And the end is a shocker, and and my father says a tearjerker.
It is. It's a warm film.
And my father doesn't cry, so.
Your dad cried for that.
No, he probably did. But
I did.
When he read the script, he said it's a tearjerker. He said it was a tearjerker.
Okay, so now you have well, let me ask this first. You have a couple of films on Amazon and a couple of films on YouTube.
I have most of the films on Amazon and probably 2 shorts on YouTube.
So what happens with Amazon? People rent them on Amazon?
You can rent them, you can watch. Well, actually, the shorts you can only see on Prime. And the features, which are actually the feature and the short, which is My Enemy Son and Sex Ain't Love, you can actually see on Prime or you can rent. So
how do you fund these films, or are you making a buck these days?
So Sex Ain't Love was funded through Indiegogo. Step Off the Block we shot twice. So the first time we shot Step Off the Block, that was funded a little bit through Indiegogo, and the second time we shot Step Off the Block, that was funded strictly through me.
That's a feature.
Yes.
And how come you had to shoot it a second time?
Second time, better camera.
Better camera.
Yeah, 4K opposed to HD, which is not. I mean, HD is not bad, but when I have 4K, like we just gotta shoot it in 4K. So we shot it in 4K, and
Well, Step Off the Block is the newest one.
Yes.
And it, how long's it been out?
Since October 14th. It sold out 2 theaters October 14th, and then it gained a run at Studio Movie Grill, 210 West 87th Street. They gave it a 7-day run, and since then we've had another school. They brought students to the schools to see the movie. It was over 100 students that came to see it from an elementary school, Arthur Ashe, and then 2 other high schools are coming in the probably next couple of weeks. And that's actually been my dream for the movie, because I think it's been more of a charity thing for me, because I didn't expect to become a millionaire or famous or successful from it. I felt like this is my way to tell all the kids that's out there committing gun violence against each other, hey, slow it down, stop. Look, there's another alternative. Step off the block and do something different. So Step Off the Block is a double entendre because it deals with stepping, the dance stepping, and also saying Step Off the Block and do something else. So you can say Step Off the Block and you can be a photographer, you can step off the block, you can be a writer, you can be an artist, but step off the block and do something aside from picking up a pistol and shooting somebody over some nonsense.
Someone just handed me a note just saying, what is the mission? But you just answered that. So take your note back. Let's do something else right now. We've got, you brought Stephanie McNair with you.
Yes.
And, Stephanie, you have another name too that I was a little confused on your website.
Yeah, it's ebonically pronounced as Steph Star.
Steph Star.
Yep, Steph Star.
And it's you singing and stuff.
Yep, just me doing what I do.
Tell us a little bit of how you got involved with this guy.
This guy, I got connected through Ronnie Boykin, of course. And from there, Sex Ain't Love, we just been buddies ever since. Film and music and film. So with that, also Will shot the music videos. He did Not Afraid and Morning for Sex Ain't Love. So we work it kind of hand in hand.
You're looking forward to keep working with this guy?
Of course, every
She's gonna do a little
time.
live for us.
Yeah. If
What's that?
She's gonna do a little song live for us.
Oh, do it. Do a little song now.
We'll do a little tip.
Do it short, because I got another question. Let me ask him the other question first.
Okay.
So I want to get it in. Will Adams, filmmaker, still a young fellow,
Really?
moving on up.
Thank you.
And what is your advice to young filmmakers or would-be filmmakers? I got a son who got this camera which we used to shoot this. It's a Lumix GH2, and it was recommended by the Cartempuan people. So with that said, I know he's working on ideas for films. You in general, as a guy who's actually done it, what is your advice to people who want to make films?
Never give up. The struggle is real, but never give up, because at the end of the day, when you see a finished product and it's on the screen, or it's on the TV, it's on the phone, it's all worth it.
Okay, that's good. Never give up. You hear that, everybody? That's good on a lot of fronts. So, Stephanie, how about doing a little a cappella tune for us?
All right. You kept your composure, smooth like a gentleman. You haven't nagged me about when I plan to let you in. Tonight is your night. You got the green light. It's gonna be alright.
Oh, that is nice.
Got crazy control.
That is nice.
We all over the place, hitting on the
you.
mic, and she was just like, quiet. That's just, I'm sitting, well, okay, this is your show, never mind.
Well, you can share it with me. We always looking for like guest hosts, so you might be the guy. We've had actually a lot of filmmakers on lately. There's a film called Rogers Park, and we had the director of that on, and we had what was that other one? Mercury in Retrograde. We had
Bob Hercules, Maya Angelou.
and we've had Bob. We've had a lot of filmmakers on, and you can see a lot of this stuff if you go to youtube.com/heartlandmedia or livefromtheheartland.com. And I'd like to ask you, Will, what is your next project? Well, I mean, I know you got to be thinking of a bunch of things.
No, it's not a next project. I got next projects. So,
That's where they are. Fill us in.
Today we're shooting My Last Time Volume 2. Oh, you didn't see My Last Time? It's on YouTube also. My Last Time?
You know, I'm going to become a big fan of yours.
But, okay, My Last Time Volume 2 is about a drug dealer's last time selling drugs. And what happens after that happens. So in My Last Time Volume 1, it's about a model who actually is smoked out and on drugs, saying this is her last time smoking drugs, she's going back to modeling. So that's that one, and this one was Volume 2. That's what we're shooting today, actually. And I'm supposed to be setting up in 2 hours from now. So
Well, you only got about 4 more minutes here, so that you got to drive carefully and get where you're going.
okay.
Yeah.
So and then also Scandalous. Scandalous is a spoof movie. It's about it's Scandal, but it's Scandalous, which is the spoof of Scandal. But also it has commercial breaks, which are sketches. So it's built on. Have you ever heard of Amazon Woman on the Moon?
I haven't, but I'm going to check it out.
Hopefully we'll have about 6 different writers, probably 6 to 7 different directors directing each piece. So it won't be just my baby; it'll be everybody's baby, and it broaden the audience for a whole Will Adams production.
And what are you working on, Steph?
I am working on a lot. I also sing with my sister with Speak Her, so I'm wrapping up an EP with that. And I'm doing house singles. I'm going to release another house single this year. I do it every year just to give to myself as a
house
artist.
single?
House music single. I don't know which
house
one
music.
it's going to be.
Okay, yeah.
I've been releasing them since 2014.
And house music is a music genre that is Chicago is the center of that.
Yes, it derived from
It's the
Chicago.
parent of, yeah.
Yeah, and just working on music, performing, and continuing with Will. And yeah, I got a show tomorrow, Silver Room. It's the anniversary for my buddy Ken. He's in New York, but they do these parties. They do all kind of parties. So Silver Room tomorrow at 3:00. I'll be performing there. I was at Whole Foods Inglewood yesterday for the five wine tasting thing they do every Friday.
How is that Whole Foods in Inglewood doing?
It is awesome. On the weekend,
There was a lot of build-up to, the neighborhoods needed some real food.
Yeah, it's a food desert in Inglewood, but now we have some grocery stores, and Inglewood was Whole Foods was just a plus. So what they do every Friday is they do wine tastings and they book talent. And I performed last night for an hour, and it was cool. Shout out to Eric. He booked us. He booked several local artists, and it's good. Like this weekend, when you shop at the Inglewood specifically, if you spend $50 or more, they'll give you $15 off of your bill. So I buy alkaline water. I just stack up on alkaline water.
Tell us about this song we're going to hear.
Oh, Not Afraid.
Yeah, tell us about Not Afraid.
Not Afraid. I wrote that as motivation for myself years ago. I hadn't even had my second child. And that song has had so many versions, so the version you hear in the movie is probably like the 7th version of that song. Different track, different genre, but same lyrics. I just needed some inspiration, and that's what I do when I get kind of down. I just write songs to myself. And Will picked it, and it worked perfectly for Step Off the Block.
Well, let's hear it. I want to thank you both for coming on the show.
Thank you.
I want to let people, you can start to play that real low, and then I'm going to let people know that I want to thank everybody who's been involved with the show. I want to thank Dan Biss, Don Rose, Will Adams, Stephanie McNair. I want to thank my co-hosts. I want to thank Lynn Orman. I want to thank Diamond Gant. I want to thank Dan Kugler. You all do a great job. Next week I got Mike Klonsky coming on talking about the school shootings. He's been down in Broward County. We've got Kathleen Rose Dillon who's going to talk about young people and political activism. And we are going to have the filmmaker, and I don't have his name here. He did a new film called Socialists. It's about Eugene Debs, the great socialist. So with all that said, we encourage you to do good in the world. The world needs all the good that you do. I want to thank you guys so much for being on the show. Got a million more questions, but they got to wait. All power to the people. Over and out.